Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Rose from Intentional Talk of MLB Network, and we are here for a pair of very special announcements concerning the legacy of one Hank Aaron today. As you can tell by the background, first and foremost, we are here to announce the two Hank Aaron Award winners, one in the American League and one in the National League. Now, the winners were selected through a combination of the fan vote on MLB.com and also a panel that involved several Hall of Famers, including the aforementioned Hank Aaron, along with Roberto Alomar, Johnny Bench, Craig Biggio, Ken Griffey Jr., Eddie Murray, and Robin Yount. First and foremost, I will introduce everybody that's on the dais. We have Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers with us. We have the Hall of Famer, Hank Aaron, the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, and J.D. Martinez of the Boston Red Sox. And without further ado, I would like to turn this over to the Commissioner of Baseball.
Thank you, Chris. This is the 20th anniversary of the Hank Aaron Award, which is given to the outstanding offensive player in each of the leagues. We're thrilled to have Hank Aaron here with us, along with his wife, Billy, and his granddaughter, to celebrate this evening. I want to thank the Hall of Fame voters who worked in selecting our two winners tonight, as well as the fans that voted on MLB.com. Our American League winner this year is J.D. Martinez, sitting to my left. He led the majors with 130 RBI. He led the majors in total bases with 358, and he was second in home run, batting average, and slugging percentage. Most important, he led his team to the World Series, and I know J.D. is anxious to get back to work, and I promised him I would be brief. So there you go. Our National League winner, Christian Yelich. I want to thank Christian for making the trip not too far from home. We appreciate it nonetheless. He was the first Milwaukee Brewer to win the batting title, batting .326. He led the National League in slugging, total bases, and WAR. He just missed, what is it, one home run, 2 RBI, a triple crown, right? Something like that. So, Christian, congratulations to you. A great year, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner. We appreciate it. Mr. Aaron, you have a few words about, obviously, this.
Well, thank you very much. Let me thank the Commissioner. Let me thank all of those who have voted for these two young men. You know, I've watched Christian, I watched J.D., and I watched Major League Baseball entirely. But the most important thing, I think, that the thing that makes you proud of is the fact that in Christian's year that he had, he came that close, when I say that close, I mean really close, of winning the Triple Crown. Now, many of you don't know what that means. That means something very special. You know, when you talk about players like Ted Williams and Yaz and some of those other great ball players who did win the Triple Crown, you know, it's something that you can be very proud of. And so I just want to congratulate Christian. I want to congratulate J.D. for such an outstanding year that he had, not only himself, but his entire team. And congratulations to you, and may you continue to keep prospering. And I want to congratulate both of you.
Very nice. Thank you. J.D., a few words for a guy who's turned hitting into such an art and a science along the way. What does this mean to you?
You know, obviously it's a huge award, and I feel very honored to receive it, you know, from where I was 5 years ago to today. You know, it's truly a blessing. You know, all the people that helped me along the way, and just to get here today and, you know, sit in front of Hank, who, you know, growing up, Paul Casanova was my mentor, and he was, you know, the guy that really took me under his wing and made me fall in love with baseball. And a lot of those stories that he told me were about Hank. So it's pretty cool to be on stage with him today.
It's great. Christian, for a guy who played his first year in Milwaukee, where, of course, Mr. Aaron spent a few years, I imagine this has got to be especially special.
Yeah, it's hard to, you know, explain what it feels like, but it's definitely a huge honor. He's hit a lot more homers up there than I have, but you know, you're just humbled to you know, win an award like this and be up here with the caliber of players that not only JD is, but you were in your career. And it's hard to process and really take it all in, and I think it's something that'll set in a little bit later.
Christian, he's at 755. You're at
Not even close to
not
that.
755. Oh, it's okay.
I have to
It's
play
okay.
multiple careers to get close to that.
Because JD's a little busy today, we do have time for a few questions for him, and then there will be time to ask questions of the people that are remaining. So if you could just say your name, and we'll get going on a couple of questions. We have a microphone as well. Go ahead over here.
Hey, JD, Ron Blum for AP. What did you go through to show the ankle was fit today? Any lingering pain? And other than tape, do you need any painkiller or anything?
I don't know, definitely the trainers put me through a little workout, testing it out and stuff like that, and it's something that obviously it's a little discomforting, but it's something that we feel comfortable with playing, and, we're definitely going to go out there and do our best.
Right over here.
Hey, JD, Peter from the Globe. As somebody who prides themselves on hitting for average in power, what does it mean to win an award named after somebody like Mr. Aaron who did that during his career?
Huge. This is, if you look at the numbers, best right-handed hitter in baseball, in our sport, in our career, and to just be on the podium and being next to him and receiving his award is an honor, and it's huge.
Do we have any other questions for JD before he gets rolling? Anybody? We're going to do a quick photo op with these guys, and then we'll let JD go, and then there will be opportunity for a few more questions as well. I got a note from Dave Dombrowski. Please excuse JD. He has a play date with the Dodgers at 5:09. So. Okay, we have a time for a few questions.
Hey, Christian, Anthony Castron's MLB.com. Both you and JD changed teams over the winter. What does it mean when you join a new franchise and kind of live up to or exceed the hype that first year?
Yeah, I think that's something that's on your mind from the start is you just want to contribute. And in my case, I came to a team that was a game away from the playoffs. And my goal going in was to be the player that they traded for, nothing more, nothing less, and just contribute to what they already had going there. And it was an unbelievable year. It was a lot of fun, and we came one game away from being in the World Series. And I think we can take what we learned from this year and the feeling of disappointment that we had of being so close but not being able to get over to the final hump and use that as motivation going into next year and see if we can take that final step.
We have one in the back. We get the microphone back there. Thank you.
Christian, in the days since Game 7 of the NLCS, what have you been up to? Would you say you are over the loss now, or are you still trying to get over it?
I'd say you're never really over it, but you've moved on from it. I think that sticks with you. You understand. That's what you work for as a player is to play in a World Series and to win a World Series. And to be that close is definitely disappointing, but like I said earlier, you use that as motivation throughout the off season and into next season. And I think as a team, we understand as far as playing in that 163 that every game counts. That game in mid-April counts just as much as that game in mid-September when you're in that playoff chase. And it's a great learning experience for us as a team, and I think it's going to help us going forward.
We have one right here in the middle. If we can get the microphone, please. Thank you.
I have a question for Mr. Aaron. There at the back.
Yes.
Like end of the season, I guess, is a time for taking stock. I was wondering what your thoughts were on the health of the game in general, and specifically in regard to getting young African American players into the game and into Major League Baseball.
The second question I would prefer answering a little later. The first one I'd like to say that I think that Major League Baseball is healthy. I think that when you see young players such as Christian and some of the other players like JD and some of these young kids coming up, you kind of wish that you were playing, not for the sake of the money thing, but simply because of the competition. You know, it's some great athletes that we have now, you know, really. If you think about all of the young kids that we have that's coming up, I watched this kid when he played over there with Miami, I think, for a couple of years. And I watched him, and to be very honest with you, I tried to get a team to trade for him. But to no avail. But he is an up and coming guy, you know, and also JD's the same way. And this is all through the league, you know, all through the league that these kids can play, throw hard, and all that. I think I made this remark last year, and I make it again. And I told Willie Mays that if he and I was playing, I said he'd be probably sending us to Class D ball because we wouldn't know how to hit these guys just throwing 90 to 100 miles an hour. You know, it was hard for me to learn how to do that. But then, you know, that's baseball. That is baseball. I watched him play and walk up to the plate and hit somebody that's throwing 100 miles an hour. And I said, "Oh my God, I couldn't do it." But anyway, but the game is healthy, and because of the commissioner's done an outstanding job of keeping the game where it was for a long time ago, and he has done a great job, and I want to say I am proud to be part of it.
If you and Willie Mays are playing in Class D, I'm buying season tickets. I'll let you know I'm first in line. Thank you. We have one in the back here.
Hello, Eduardo from Big Bola. Christian, how much do you attribute to changing the team, your numbers right now, being in Milwaukee?
I think it's definitely a little bit better place to hit, but I think really just learning yourself as a player. You're trying to improve every year, and you try and make improvements on what you've learned about yourself when you're successful or when you struggle, and you try and minimize those stretches, and you realize what you do when you're successful, and you try and lengthen those. I think that was the biggest thing this year, was just having a little bit better understanding of what I do well as a player, and I think playing in that playoff race and having all those games mean something down the stretch definitely helped as well. But like I said, you're continually trying to improve throughout your career, and I think you can constantly get better, and it's a great mindset to take into every season.
We have one over here.
Henry, Ted Sobel, Sports USA. You played so many times in this stadium. I'm curious, when you come back in here, are there any special memories that immediately come to mind?
I didn't play that much. I played my last year here when I was with the Braves. I came back here and played the last year when I was with Milwaukee. But I didn't. In fact, when they traded, not when they traded, but when they moved the ball club from Boston to Milwaukee, it was my first year in the big leagues, you know. So I really didn't play too much. I had a little luck here, not that good of luck, you know. I hit a few home runs, but not many, you know. And this is a ballpark can make you start thinking a little bit. And the reason I say it makes you start thinking is because you see that green monster out there, and the first thing you know, not here, not in Los Angeles, but in Boston, you see a green monster in Los Angeles, in Boston, and the first thing you want to know, can you hit it over the fence, you know, really. But this ballpark here always gave me trouble because I just never felt like I could ever play the way I wanted to play, because I got here late, we traveled all night, flying here, and I never did get up to it, you know, really.
All right, we have a quick set change, if you will, and then we have another major announcement coming up in regards to the legacy of Hank Aaron. So just hold tight. Christian, thank you very much. We appreciate your time today, and congratulations on being named the 2018 winner of the Hank Aaron Award in the National League.
I don't think every place they win, this guy turns out.
Congratulations.
Good luck tonight, David. Hey, Christian. You got something? Here, we can give you a little room. You okay? I'm good. Okay. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right, Tony Clark, the Executive Director of the Major League Baseball Players Association, has joined us here on the dais. And this is to make a major announcement concerning the future of baseball and the legacy of Hank Aaron. And once again, here's the commissioner.
Good afternoon again, everybody. Since 2015, we've been partners with Tony, the Major League Baseball Players Association, and USA Baseball in a program called the Elite Development Invitational. It's held in historic Dodgertown down in Vero Beach every year. It's kind of the crown jewel of all of our youth programs. Hundreds of racially diverse high school age players have participated in the program, and it's a spring training type of environment and an experience for really talented young players. Probably the most exciting part of this opportunity is to work with former major league players and managers to give the kids an opportunity to develop their skills. Just to give you a feel for the kind of people who have participated, Hall of Famers Ken Griffey and my friend Dave Winfield, who's here in the front row, former All-Stars Eric Davis, Reggie Smith, Marquis Grissom, Tom Gordon, just to name a few. Former Major League managers, Jerry Manuel and Bo Porter, and even some former GMs, Tony Regans, who now works for us and runs our youth programs, as well as Omar Minaya, who was the GM of the Mets. The program for the participants is completely free, and it gives them an opportunity to become familiar with the history of our game, some of the pioneers of our game, including Jackie Robinson, obviously spent years in Dodgertown. Since we started the program, 200 participants have graduated from high school. They've been in the program and aged out. 50% of those players are now playing professional or playing in a top-flight collegiate program, and it is the pipeline for diversity at the major league level. Next year, we're going to have two really important changes to the Elite Development Invitational. Going forward, the event's going to be named the Hank Aaron Invitational to honor one of our greatest players and greatest friends to the game. And the program will also be expanded to participate in Henry Aaron Week that the Braves hold each year in Atlanta. In Atlanta, 44 of the very best players from the Invitational will play in a game. They'll have an opportunity to play in beautiful SunTrust Park, great spot. And it'll be part of a week that will feature the Diverse Business Summit, an important program of Major League Baseball, as well as cultural activities that will emphasize the role of Atlanta in the civil rights movement. I want to thank Hank Aaron for lending his name to this great effort, as well as Billy, who have worked hard to help us develop this program. Tony?
Yes, thank you, Rob. I would simply echo this has been a joint program that has truly made a difference, we believe, in not just the development of a number of young people that have come through the program on the field, but also that off the field as well. Over the course of a couple weeks, having groups of kids in from ages 12 through 17, really have an opportunity to spend time with them, equipping them for life in general, sharing player knowledge and expertise, while giving them an opportunity to appreciate Major League Baseball and what it is and the opportunities that it represents. All of that culminating in a camp that now is going to enter into its 4th year. And so having an opportunity to grow and expand the program in the way that the commissioner mentioned, let alone having Mr. Aaron be a part of it in a fashion that he's going to be moving forward by being the title to it, is representative of our history in a way that is going to impact the next generation of kids in a fashion that we simply haven't done before. And it's something that players are excited about, we're excited about, and again, it's a program that in working with Major League Baseball, Rob, Tony Regans, and his staff is something that we've enjoyed being a part of and look forward for many years to come, the impact it's going to make.
We have time for a few questions, if you would like. Anthony?
A question for Mr. Aaron. You were talking earlier about the state of the game and the young talent and athletes, and to have your name on something like this that represents the future of the sport, to have an impact on the future of the sport, what does that mean to you?
It means an awful lot to me. First, let me thank the commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner. I want to thank the Atlanta Braves. Many years ago, when I first started playing baseball, there was one person that I always idolized, pardon me, and I still think about it right now. I think that in terms, if he had not spread his wings, that I would not be standing here this afternoon talking to you, and that was Jackie Robinson. So I feel quite proud of that. So I want to thank Rod Manfred, Major League Baseball, of course. I certainly want to thank the Atlanta Braves for all that they do, because that's what we need. We need someone to help shape this game into what the game is all about. And the game is about all of us, not just a few of us, but all of us who has an opportunity and a chance to play this game. Then let's play it. We just, a few minutes ago, just now awarded 2 trophies, plaques, to 2 young men. I think that a few years ago that would never happen. But just to think about what Major League Baseball has to do, I mean, really, it has been instrumental in helping not only kids get out of the doldrum, but bring them to life and make them understand what life is all about. And I, again, want to thank you, Commissioner, for all that you do and your organization. Thank you very much.
We have another question right here.
Matt Votar, Mass Live. Henry, you have a guy like Mookie Betts playing tonight who's become such a good player and such a potential role model. Does having a player with his background, being as successful as he is that important? And is he kind of a role model that the guys people can look to?
You speaking to me about?
He's asking you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were speaking to someone else. What was your question?
He was asking about Mookie Betts and whether he's a role model for young guys.
Oh, it's no question about it. Yes, he's a role model. Really, when you think about who he is, where he is, he certainly is a role model.
In the back, Bill.
Mr. Aaron, you've said at these events in the past that you would be almost embarrassed to strike out the 150 or 200 times a year that so many guys do today. You mentioned the comment about you and Willie Mays and D-ball, but as you watch the game today and see how it's changed, what do you appreciate about it? What do you think, this maybe isn't so fun to watch guys strike out?
No, it's embarrassing, really, to see someone strike out. It's always was embarrassing to me. I never, and I say this, bragging about my career for 23 years, that no, I never struck out 100 times, and that was something that I felt like if I did, I walked back to the bench, I didn't crack my bat on my leg or try to chew it up. But no, I felt quite embarrassed, you know, and I think, the game has changed, really, to be honest with you. This game has changed, and it has changed for the best sometime for some players. Some players will always strike out 100 times. Some players will never strike out 100 times. I think you got one or two players now in the league now that haven't struck out 100 times, you know. So, it was quite embarrassing to me if I walked up to the plate, even facing pitchers like Drysdale or Koufax and those guys. If they got me one time, I felt I could go home and sleep well at night. I felt very well that I had a very good night striking out once a night, rather than 4 times. But I remember one time when I was facing, I was talking to Koufax, and I had a little fella, I won't name the kid's name. He was hitting in front of me, and I remember after the game was over with, the next day we were talking, and Koufax was on the mound, and he said, and he told somebody said, man, he said, why were you so hard on that young kid? He said, well, let me tell you one thing. He said, I would strike him out every time he go to the plate if I got to face Hank Aaron. He said, that's the reason that I struck him out so much. But I guess that's the way things are, really.
We have a question here in the middle.
Hey, Barry Bloom. Hey, Rob, back to the matter at hand here. How does this impact your youth initiatives, and where do you think that's gone? That was so important to you when you took over as commissioner. How's that developed for you?
Well, we think that over the last 4 years we've made great strides in terms of youth participation. There's a Sports and Industry Fitness Association that puts out annual numbers on youth participation. Baseball's been the fastest growing sport each of the last 3 years. Baseball is the most played sport by kids under 12, and we do feel that Major League Baseball's programs have been important in terms of encouraging participation generally. I think equally important, the programs have helped us on the diversity front. If you look at the first round of our draft, the last 5 years, 20% of the players are African American. We only have 8% in the big leagues right now, so that's a good number for us. It portends well for the future. And almost every one of those young men that are drafted in the first round had some touch with a program that is a Major League Baseball or a Major League Baseball and MLBPA program. And those are really, really important developments. The Hank Aaron Invitational, in a lot of ways, sits atop the programs. We want kids who are in RBI or playing in an academy in Compton to aspire to have the opportunity to go to the Hank Aaron Invitational in Vero Beach, to have that 2 weeks where they get an opportunity to work with former Major League players to develop their skills. And, it is a motivating piece of our youth programs.